Joint Budget and Finance Committee meeting and Committee of the Whole meeting to order. It is 3:32 p.m. and it's April 10th, 2023. Councilors, have you had a chance to look at the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a motion for approval?
I move approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The minutes from the last meeting have passed. Next is consideration of the consent agenda. Councilors, do you have any items you would like to place on consent?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilor Abbott.
I would like to place on consent items 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 18, 21, 27, and 28 if it's discretionary spending. Is 28 discretionary? Okay, it didn't say so, but if I had memorized that code, I'd know, but I haven't memorized them. So that's it for me.
Okay, Councilor Abbott, you're going a little fast, so let me
Let me run through them again.
Okay, so it's items 4 and 5 on page 1. Item 6 on page 2. Items 9, 10, 11 on page 3. Items 12 and 13 on page 4. Items 15 and 16 on page 5. Item 18 on page 6. Item 21 on page 7. And then we go all the way to the last page. Items 27 and 28 on page 10. Is that correct? Did I miss the one?
Yes.
Which one?
Yes.
That's it? Okay.
I'm in approval, but I believe we have a question or something.
Yes, Mr. McDaniels. Jeff?
Madam Chair, for item 4, will you amend the amount and add the additional information? Currently, the item reads $500 from District 1. I would like to add an additional $2,000 from District 2. And the corresponding GL code is 001 000 042 20 542 001. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Madam President.
I second the motion for those items to be consented.
Okay. There's been a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The consent agenda passes. So if your items were placed on consent, you may go home. All right. The first item is item number 7, a 6th amendment to the software license agreement with MHC Software Holdings Incorporated, under which MHC, the sole provider of Unique Express payroll software maintenance services, will purchase additional software and maintenance services on behalf of the City of Birmingham for a term of 3 years and an amount not to exceed $29,640.
Move the item.
Second.
Hey.
Good afternoon. We have Mr. Patrick McClellan comes up to speak on it. I think it's mostly the software that does all our tax information, right?
That's right. That's good afternoon, councilors.
Good afternoon.
You had a good Easter?
Yes.
Patrick McClendon, Director of Information Services. Yes, this is where we just a little over a year ago moved all of our payroll advices online here, where people can get their, instead of just having a paper copy, get your W-2 now. We're slowly adding other things online. We've had great positive feedback from it. It saves us a lot of money in printing to be able to put all those things online, and makes it easily available to our employees.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you. Councilors, do you have any questions? Councilor Abbott?
Yeah, my only question is, after we got into the hot water we got into with the people that do our business licenses, I always wonder about all these things that we do if we get to keep our own information. But this one sounds like it's bulletproof.
Yes, this is an in-house.
Yeah, I mean, we took it in.
Right.
So if it gets messed up, we did it.
Well, so technically it was already in-house. We just digitalized it more than we went from paper to
paper to.
Yeah, but it's all internal. Yes.
Yeah. Well, after that other situation, you're thinking about all the things that can go wrong, but thank you. Nothing's going wrong here.
Okay, Madam President?
No questions,
Okay.
thank you.
There's been a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 7 passes. Thank you, Mr. Patrick. Okay, item 8, a resolution by the Council of the City of Birmingham authorizing the mayor to execute for and as the act of said city any and all documents necessary for the city to make application, receive, and expend grant funding from the U.S. Department of Energy, DOE, Office of the Undersecretary for Infrastructure, Energy Efficiency, and Conservation Block Grant, EECGB, program grant in the amount of $252,880 to assist the city in implementing strategies to reduce energy use, to reduce fossil fuel emissions, and to improve energy efficiency for a period of 2 years with no matching funds due from the city.
Move the item.
Second.
Hi, it's good to see you.
Hi, good afternoon. Amelia Muller. I serve as Civic Design Principal in the Mayor's Office. So the resolution item for this grant really speaks for itself. This is a formula grant under the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. It is for energy efficiency and conservation. The dollar amount here is essentially calculated based on a federally set formula, and we are currently working toward an end of April deadline to essentially pre-apply for these funds. It's the Department of Energy requirement, and then we'll have several months to put together an energy conservation strategy and identify projects or a single project under that strategy that these funds can go towards. So much like we're familiar with community development block grants and a whole range of eligible uses in the community development space, this is a Department of Energy grant functioning in much the same way. So today before you is really simply to pursue the necessary steps to pursue these funds.
Thank you. Madam President, do you have any questions?
Yes, thank you very much. We have had some great opportunities lately with these type grants, if not specifically this one, but I know the city, we put a lot of energy into using this as a method to fund our wish list or things we think would be great for the city. Is it premature to ask what some of those strategies might be, or just kind of a focus of what you might be doing if you got this money?
So we don't yet have kind of the short list, if you will, but I can give you just some examples of
Just one or two
types of eligible activities. So for example, it can be used on anything from conducting residential and commercial building energy audits to providing grants to nonprofit organizations and other government agencies for performing energy efficiency retrofits. So thinking about making homes more energy efficient, for example, in our neighborhoods. It can be used to replace traffic signals and street lighting with energy efficient lighting technologies. It can be used to implement strategies related to solar and wind energy on government buildings. There's really a pretty wide range of activities. So with $250,000, we'll have to be a little bit strategic in how far that will stretch.
We're not talking $2 million. We're talking $200,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Well, that gives me an idea. Just kind of want to see what the strategies were going to be aligned with that. Thank you.
Absolutely. And as that develops, we'll be sure to come back to council and share more of those details with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Abbott?
Yeah, so could we use this money to figure out how to make City Hall energy efficient?
Actually, the energy efficiency of government buildings is an eligible activity. We have to kind of dive deeper into the regulations, but that is one of many eligible activities. Yes, ma'am.
I mean, that way we would know if it was effective because our bills would go down, right?
That's right.
Good. That was my only question, just City Hall, leaky as it is.
Okay. Do you have any more questions, councilors?
That's all. Thank you.
There's been a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Item number 8 passes. Thank you. Next item It's item number 14, an agreement with Step by Step Foundation, an amount not to exceed $14,999.99, under which Step by Step will provide training services to coaches and data managers in coordination with the Magic City Showcase and organize community and outreach activities for the City of Birmingham to support the city in its effort to organize youth sports activities, including but not limited to the Magic City Showcase.
Move the item.
Second.
I think this is one for Jeff, maybe. Hey, I think this one is yours.
What item? I'm sorry.
Item 14.
Item 14. That's okay.
It's okay.
So, Step by Step Foundation, Magic City Showcase is by District 1. And it's a culmination of boys and girls who primarily, I think it's football, but I think they have cheering competition, that nature for of those details. Questions, but that's about it.
Okay, councilors, do you have any questions? Madam President?
Yes, I do. So this will be funded by District 1 discretionary?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. That wasn't, I didn't see that.
Say, District 1 discretionary, that GL account equates to.
Okay, perfect. And I think this, I'm familiar with this in the past. This is kind of like a combine or something to showcase the talents of.
The video commercial footage says yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, it's to help because a lot of times high school athletes need numbers and footage, and so it's helping them get scholarships.
Provide that.
basically.
Okay, thank you.
Now, he does collect some data around the scholarship offers, but that information doesn't come back.
Oh, okay. Council Abbott?
Madam President asked all my questions, so I'm good.
Okay. Well, there's been a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item 14 passes. Next item. Item number 17, an amendment to cost sharing agreement between the City of Birmingham and the City of Mountain Brook, under which an existing cost sharing agreement between these cities dated July 3rd, 2019, under which the City of Birmingham agreed to reimburse the City of Mountain Brook for 1/2 of the local match costs of making certain public improvements consisting of approximately 4,000 linear feet of new sidewalk along Haggood Street, not to exceed $140,000, will be amended to add to the project 340 linear feet of new sidewalk situated in Birmingham along Haggood Street between Kingston Avenue and Dunstan Avenue at an additional cost for the local match portion of $10,848.08, for which the City of Birmingham will be responsible.
Move the item.
Second.
Hey, Mr. Alexander.
Mr. Colin Alexander.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Colin Alexander. I serve as Senior Planner for the Birmingham Department of Transportation. What is before you is a cost-sharing agreement that we had with the City of Mountain Brook on a pre-existing project to build a sidewalk along Haggood Street in both the right-of-way of the City of Birmingham and the City of Mountain Brook, under which we split the cost of the local match for the federally funded program. As the project went along, we adjusted the scope of the grant slightly to add an additional 340 feet of sidewalk that is entirely within the city limits of Birmingham. So Birmingham shifted to take over the cost of that additional match money, since that was entirely within the city limits of Birmingham. So this is just the paperwork to kind of work through and execute that cost share agreement that we've figured out with the project account.
Okay, thank you. Council Abbott, do you have any questions?
Yeah, my only question, I remember the first thing we did with Haggood. I'm just surprised that it's taken 4 years to do a little sidewalk. I mean, what happened?
Federal grant process can be very complicated.
Wow. Well, it's a long-awaited 340 feet. So, thank you.
Okay. Madam President?
And this additional money does not make us exceed the original 140,000?
So it does exceed that. That's why we have to amend the agreement. So that's what's before you, is to amend the agreement to say that we are covering that extra 10,000.
I got you. All right. Thank you for that clarification.
When did we apply for this grant?
That predates me. I can bring up Director Bell
Yeah.
from Capital Projects if you'd like to know an exact time frame.
We'll find out, but I think it was 2018, to be honest with you.
2018? It's a long time. Okay.
I know this says 2019, but I think it was before that.
Okay, I was just wondering.
And I know the project's coming up to pretty close to being closed out.
Yeah.
So we're
that's good.
wrapping up the project at this point.
Yeah, this has been an ongoing issue in Hager Circle.
When is it projected to close out?
Pretty soon. I don't have the exact time frame, but they're pretty close to being done with construction, if not finished at this point, but going through that process.
Okay, thank you. Councilors, do you have any other questions? There's been a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Item number 17 passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is item number 19, a resolution by the Council of the City of Birmingham authorizing the mayor to execute for and as the act of said city any and all documents necessary for the city to make application, receive, and expend grant funding from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, Office of Community Planning and Development, the Office of Economic Development, and the Congressional Grants Division for the FY 2022 Economic Development Initiative Community Project Funding Grant in the amount of $300,000 to assist the city with the North Birmingham Elementary School redevelopment project with no matching funds due from the city.
Move the item.
Second.
So, Madam Chair, Mr. Datcher was supposed to be here to speak on this item. Court, you got any background on this? No. Can you just lay it on the table till I can find Mr. Datcher and choke him?
Sure, don't
Thank you.
choke him.
Appreciate that.
Okay. All right, well, we'll table item number 19. Item number 20, an ordinance to amend the general fund budget for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2023 by transferring $10,000 from general fund library materials to the non-departmental transfer to Fund 102 capital project and amend the capital fund budget for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2023 by appropriating $100,000 to LIB 10 to CP 003980 Central Various Fire Alarm System Project.
Move the item.
Second.
Okay.
Hey, Madam Chair, so what's before the council is just partial of the funding that we need to complete a complete overhaul of the fire system at the Central Library. So what we're doing is doing a one-for-one swap. It's outdated, and we just need this funding to kind of short fall that we have on the complete cost of here it is $280,000. So the library board felt like it was reasonable to allocate some of their funding to offset this cost with the administration.
Gotcha. Okay. Council Abbott, do you have any questions?
I do. So we're going to not buy materials for the library in order to fix the fire alarm system. So will they be made whole for library materials?
But we had a conversation with them, and they felt like this was adequate. They were able to buy enough supplies with the funding that we gave them out of this current fiscal year, which was close to $1 million. So they felt like it was adequate, knowing that their ask in this upcoming budget will be even level funding. But they felt like this was imperative because they had to have the actual fire system in place, so we wouldn't have books that would actually get caught on fire. So, right now they're on a fire watch with this older system. So we just want to just expeditiously try and get this completed. So they offered up this amount because of the cost of it was so high. And knowing that we already put forth a lot of funding during the surplus for those other modifications to the Central Library, they just wanted to help out, that's all.
Okay, so this is because we had given them money that was unexpected, and they used it for the things they needed. Now, this is to keep all the books we have
to
in
preserve
good shape.
the library, to preserve the library materials. Yes.
Preserve what we bought.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That answers my question.
Yeah, that was a good question. Madam President?
Yes, I just wanted to be sure I clarified. So the director and the board, this is something that they were in agreement with
Yes.
and expect to get some of this reflected back in the next budget or materials they may have needed will come through the level
Yes.
funding?
It should, yes, ma'am. In my conversation with the director, like I said, the administration will take some of our deferred maintenance that we have that the council approved to a tune of $180,000 to create the total amount that we need to replace the fire system. So this was kind of like a joint venture between the board and the administration to get us all.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Okay. If there are any other questions, there's been a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item 20 passes. The next item is item number 22, an agreement with Heartland Ford Incorporated, Heartland, under which Heartland will provide an accelerator to small business owners in Birmingham. The city will provide incentives to Heartland in the amount of $70,000 pursuant to Amendment Number 772 to the Constitution of Alabama, 1901, Amendment Number 772, which authorizes the city to lend its credit to or grant public funds and things of value in aid of or to any corporation or other business entity for the purpose of propelling the economic development of the city.
Move the item.
Second.
We'll bring up Ms. Monique Short of IEL.
Hey, Monique. Ms. Shorts, how you doing?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Monique Shorts, and I serve as a Senior Program Manager in IEO. And what you have before you is a program that I've been working on and doing some research on. In my role as Senior Program Manager, there are a lot of programs for full-time entrepreneurs and not a lot for aspiring entrepreneurs. Those who have a 9-to-5 job but have an idea or a passion, they don't have the mentorship or they lack the resources to do. So Incomes, Builders, and Backers. It's a 90-day program. For the first 45 days is basically figuring out what they want to do. The next 45 is actually taking them through step-by-step, hands-on approach to actually execute that idea. It's a full virtual program, and again, it's built around those who have 9-to-5. So they meet about once every week, and then maybe 1 to 2 hour sessions, first 45 days, and then 3 to 5, once they start to execute this idea they have, they're going to meet 3 to 5 hours a week during that time. We're looking for 10 ideas. So not participants, but ideas. There may be teams. So there may be someone who has a team to come up with something. This program's been done in other cities, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Fort Worth, Texas, and they look like lack of fresh resources, access to food. They look like mental health specific to men, like ideas around those kind of things. So we're looking here in the city to bring that idea to the city and say, if you are a 9-to-5, but you have this idea and you just need some help, we want to be able to provide that assistance for them.
Okay. Councilors, do you have any questions, Madam President?
Yes, I do. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Just have a question. Okay. So you're looking for 10 ideas, and the benefit will be for those people that are a part of this. Is this the Pebble Fund, the Pebble Grant? You're given the $5,000 after you test their ideas, or is this to help them to come up with the ideas?
So that's helping them to test it. So they're going to take their first 45 days and find a viable idea, right? So we're going to get those that are viable and then some that kind of need some help to make this work. So that $5,000, I mentioned having a lack of resources to do so. Mm-hmm. My 9-to-5 money is going to my 9-to-5, like my family, all those things. But this will help them kind of just be intentional about this $5,000 and this idea that I have.
Okay. And does the grant program or the Heartland Forward, they give you criteria, or does it, anything's a limit, or does it have to meet certain standards or meet criteria?
So we're going to look for the
idea.
Right. So we're going to look for the most viable ideas, okay, and we're going to go through that process with them. So we want to make sure that one, it's just for Birmingham residents. Again, this has been all over the country. So we're going to help them review the applications to say, yes, they're here in Birmingham. We're going to ask for zip codes, and I've also asked them to give us districts as well. So they'll kind of know where these ideas are coming from. And since we have 10 ideas, my hope is that we can get an idea from all of our districts. But we'll be there kind of guiding through that process to make sure that, again, Birmingham specific, viable ideas, and also those may need a little bit of help.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I do have what is the criteria for how you will pick people? I know you said Birmingham residents, but is there a panel also that will pick the ideas or judge them?
So Heartland Forward or Builders and Backers have been doing this for a few years now. So they kind of have this thing in place, like an algorithm that kind of helps you figure it out. Mm-hmm. But I'm really hands-on. So I'm going to be reading every application to see what it looks like, to see if this is actually something you can get off the ground. And then for those who don't actually make the cut for this, we have other programs around the city that can do the TA, that can kind of help them get a business plan and all those things. So it's not just like a flat out no, I still want to be able to help and not just say no.
What are some of the projects that other cities have done? Did you mention that?
I did. So
I'm sorry, you said mental.
Oh, no,
Never mind.
you're fine.
It's okay.
So a lack of access to fresh foods. We had she was a hair care provider, and we don't know what kind of our texture her hair is, so she did this quiz, made an app that you can go through and say, I have this kind of hair, what kind of products can I use? And she's also in the process of like getting suppliers and vendors to actually sell those products. So it's like, I have this kind of hair, what do I need? And then bam, I can go buy it from here.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of ideas that came out of one of the cities.
That's really cool. What's the name of that app, though?
It's like hairstyling quiz. I will get it and find it. It's amazing.
That's pretty clever. Councilor Abbott.
Just watch out for those relaxers. all the lawyers on television are announcing that they'll be glad to sue people over them. Okay, so these folks, these Heartland people, have done projects in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Oxford, Mississippi. And now they're expanding to other cities like ours.
So they've done, I just named a few of those. They've been in Northeast Tennessee, they've been in Dakota, and they actually are also starting here in Montgomery as well.
Okay, so the $4 million that they're raising to expand the program, is that where the $5,000 comes from?
So the way that works, it's $70,000, and we're doing 10 ideas, which is $7,000. So $2,000 of that is their program fee, and then the other $5,000 is the Pebble grant. So it's $7,000 for 10, meaning $70,000. Now, they are running other programs throughout the country. One was Workforce that we just did here a few months ago that cost us nothing because they were taking care of it. And we're hoping that as funding, if this continues to grow and we see how much of an impact it can make here in the city, that we can also ask for additional funding to offset the cost for the city.
Okay. Okay. I'm still confused about the $4 million they're raising. What does it go for?
So it's not just builders and backers. They have other partners and other programs they're running. So as a whole, they're raising funds. And so last year, those funds actually got depleted. So they're continuing to raise money to offset it for some cities. So we're not actually paying the full amount, that $10,000, and we can actually get more than that, but we weren't with them when they had all the money, if that makes sense. We're coming in and saying, yes, how much is it now? And we still want to do this. So they're continuing to raise money. So maybe next year it won't be as much for us.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, councilors, do you have any other questions? Okay, well, there's been a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Item number 22 passes. Thank you. Look forward to that. See Mr. Datchers here.
You can keep going with the agenda.
No, that's my constituent, so I can't. And this was, we're bringing back up item number 19, and that is the North Birmingham Elementary School redevelopment project. I do know there is a dollar amount change too, as well.
Yeah, it was you got it, the 300,000 to $3 million.
Correct. And that's in the description. I think there's a mistake in the line. Kelvin Datcher, I serve as Deputy Director of Community Development. So what you have on 19 and 21, they're kind of companions there. So the federal government brought back kind of what used to be called the earmark process. So these are federally directed congressional appropriations that the city is receiving directly, courtesy of Congresswoman Sewell. And so 19 is for $3 million for the North Birmingham Elementary School. Number 21 is for $4 million for the Rails to Trails. That is a tremendous project in partnership with Freshwater Land Trust. But going back to the item that's on the table at this point, as you guys know, councilors, in the early ARP conversations, we allocated $1 million towards shuttered schools, and so we were trying to find a way. There was more than 24 schools that were closed over the last decade or so. We're trying to find a way to revitalize those because they've been considered blight in our communities, and so the North Birmingham Elementary School provides a phenomenal opportunity for us to create an anchor for redeveloping downtown North Birmingham. We have negotiated with the school system to acquire that for $620,000. As well, there are 12 adjacent land bank properties that we'll get as part of a catalytic development. So we can do something very special on that 6.6 acres right there in North Birmingham. We're really looking at a senior development because of the dearth of senior development, senior housing in the community right now. The Housing Authority is very excited about this opportunity. And so we can use the money to not only acquire that property, but reignite that community on that corridor that right now has the energy from downtown, from BJCC and the stadium to the Caraway development right up through North Birmingham. And so it really would be the first major project in North Birmingham since anybody can remember. And so we're incredibly excited about it and very appreciative of Congresswoman Sewell for having the vision to fund that project for us. So any questions that you guys have, we'd love to answer at this point. We are looking at a RFP for a development partner to move this project along, but we have the money for acquisition of the actual site, for acquisition of the adjacent land bank properties, for the soft costs of architecture and environmental review, and then we can actually put some money in to help incentivize a partner to come in and redevelopment without going into the city's coffers.
Okay, Mr. Dasher. Well, councilors, do you have any questions?
Just one. So since we don't really know what the project will be, I guess we don't have a cost estimate for what it'll cost.
So we really think senior housing is really made for, I mean, because of the 3 floors of the building. There's a great first floor that can be a forward-facing small business, maybe a coffee shop or a sandwich shop, something like that, if that's not there.
Hair salon.
Well, there are lots of, we actually have kind of a burgeoning project, an emerging project for those high-touch businesses in North Birmingham right now. But if we can provide some additional senior housing here and maybe some along the outside, what Corey Starworth loves is he loves senior cottages. So maybe we can do those along the outside, provide some assisted living, some independent living that could be at an affordable rate. It's really a win-win for that entire community. And this $3 million helps jumpstart that and get it going, because otherwise the city would have had to dig into CDBG or home just to get it going. This allows us to get going with all the soft costs and really get a good understanding of what actually can happen there. We do think that a senior housing development could happen there that could be phenomenal. There's also a couple of buildings that are adjacent to it that we think we can expand the campus footprint that can make it an incredibly attractive development right on 31 and really ignite what should happen in North Birmingham.
Good, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Madam President?
Well, not so much a question as I would like to see something like this take place, because my mother lived in assisted living, and she actually lived in a school that had been renovated into an assisted living facility, but it was outside of the city of Birmingham. So it posed a lot on our family to try to find something. We really would have loved to keep her in closer residence to the city. So I think that this is not far from a vision that I think would be very helpful. I guess with the RFP, are we looking to be sure this would be affordable, though? Because that cost of that living can be very, very
it's through
costly,
the roof, quite frankly. Yes, ma'am, and it could be debilitating for families. So, yes, ma'am, we are looking to make sure that it's affordable, and so we have some resources and some creativity, I think, in-house that we've shown you guys over the last year or so with Dr. Venable Thomas, with Mr. Starworth, that we can come up with these kind of projects that can be both impactful but also affordable for our residents. So that's our goal, is to make sure that we can impact our residents. And Corey can talk a lot about the need, having, we stole them from the Housing Authority, but the dire need that we have for affordable senior housing in this city right now. And so this is a huge step forward. I know that Hill Elementary School, we acquired that from the from the school system, and that's a part of our Choice Neighborhood Grant opportunity as well. So we're trying to be as creative as possible. We know that some of our neighbors to the north in Huntsville, they've done some transformational with an old school building. We know that it's happened in other places around the country. And so what we're seeking to do is novel for us, but it's not really novel around the country. We can get this done. And we're very excited that there's a very exciting item on the council agenda that will be a good partner for us in housing and homelessness moving forward.
Got you. One other question. This really is a question. So let me just be sure I'm correct. The $3 million, this was the amount that was announced that was being allocated or appropriated from Congresswoman Sewell's office. This is that same $3 million.
Yes, ma'am. So so the last 2 years, Congresswoman Sewell can really brag because she's brought us $7 million for congressionally directed projects right here in the city of Birmingham. First, Rails and Trails, that's also on the agenda today, but this is $3 million that we, that literally, it's really just a grant for us that we don't have to pay back.
And I'm back to what Mrs. Abbott said. So we don't know, do we know the actual cost of this? We don't know anything.
Not at this time, but that's the $3 million. What it allows us to do is move in partnership with the Housing Authority and maybe work with their project-based vouchers that come in and provide vouchers that are not attached to the resident, but is attached to the project. So, for instance, if there are 50 residential units considered, then we can apply for those 50 vouchers that will come in and pay a monthly amount to their development overall. So what we're trying to do is minimize the cost to the city and maximize the impact to the community.
Okay, and I should probably know this, but is this District 9, or what district is this in? 4,
so
5,
Mrs. Tate is very excited about this.
Okay, so it is 9.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much. That's it. Thank you.
I don't have any questions. Well, there's been a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Item 19 passes. Thank you,
and Mr. Mitchell and Mr. McDaniels. I am a resident of District 6. So.
But we love you in District 3.
Next item, item number 23, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a loan agreement between the City of Birmingham and 5503 Investments LLC, Woodlawn Theater located at 5503 First Avenue North, Birmingham, Alabama 35212 for a community development block grant, CBG, economic development 5-year forgivable loan for improvement in the amount of $50,000 with 5503 Investments, Woodlawn Theater providing 20% match plus architectural fees in the amount of $2,266.25. The funds will be used for a new glass storefront windows and doors, painting of the entire building, new exterior signage, brick and mortar repair, and wall extension. 5503 Investments LLC agrees to hire or retain at least 2 full-time employees for the 5-year period. No payments will be required, provided the property continues to be maintained in accordance with program requirements, retention of ownership, occupancy by tenant, maintenance of the facade, maintenance of hazard insurance, and payment of all property taxes due.
Move the item.
Second.
See, Mr. Corey. He's been waiting patiently.
I know.
Oh, he's so patient.
Good afternoon. Corey
Good afternoon.
Stallworth. I serve as Senior Deputy Director of Community Development. And item 23, as well as 24 and 25, they are our recommendations to approve businesses' facade grants through our facade grant program in community development.
You want us to bring up all 3?
Yeah. Expedite.
Okay. I'm going to shorten this a little bit. So this is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter a loan agreement between City of Birmingham KJB Group, 1102, located at 301 Reverend Abraham Woods Jr. Boulevard, Birmingham, Alabama, 35215. And this is in the amount of $45,763, providing 20% match in the amount of $3,500. And this is for pretty much the same renovations. And then that's item 24. And then item 25 is with 1520 Partners LLC, located at 505 North 20th Street, Suite 1475, Birmingham, Alabama 35203. This is a forgivable loan in the amount of $50,000 with 1520 Partners providing 20% match. And that's item number 25. So is there a motion for
Yes,
items
move
24?
all 3 items, please.
Second.
Okay.
Thank you. And so these 3 businesses we're recommending to provide a facade loan to. Of course, our CDBG funds not only allow us to rehab homes, but also incentivize businesses to encourage businesses to occupy blighted structures that are in our neighborhoods so our residents can have retail, cafes nearby the homes that they dwell in. And so on the agenda, I'll start with 23. We are proposing to provide a little bit over $52,000 to support the Woodlawn Theater located in Woodlawn. And so all of these businesses have committed to providing 2 full-time employees. So combined, of course, there's 6 positions, new positions that will be coming to the city, as well as they've committed to maintaining our eligibility requirements over the next 5 years in which these loans will be forgiven. And so I do have with me today Mr. Will Mason, who can talk more about the Woodlawn Theater.
Yes, Mr. Mason.
Hello again.
Hello.
Good to see you guys. I'm Will Mason. I can answer any questions you have. We've actually completed most of the facade work on this project, and I just received word on my way here that the power company has turned on the power, so I'm going to go check out the sign because I haven't seen it lit up yet, but it looks amazing. Super thankful for the opportunity to work with the city on getting the facade renovated and up to the standards that we have for our new music venue.
And what's your role at the...
I'm the developer on the project, so I own the building with a group, and I also own the business of Woodlawn Theater, and then manage the nonprofit Mason Music Foundation, which is the other tenant in the building.
Perfect. Okay. Madam President, do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions. I'm a little familiar with the work that you're trying to do there. So, and with the other business, what's the other entity?
Mason Music Foundation.
Yes, right. That's right. So thank you very much. We're actually trying to bring some of this within District 7 to the schools there. So thank you very much. That was my only question.
Okay. Councilor Abbott?
Yeah, I was just curious if this would be a theater that would have plays and movies or just music?
It's going to be primarily music, music venue, but we'll also be renting it out for weddings and other events, private events. But the building historically was the movie theater in Woodlawn from 1929 to 1957, so we wanted to kind of call back to that name.
Yeah, I was just curious, you know.
We do have a nice movie screen that we bought from our old church, so we will probably do movie nights, like for the community, occasionally as well, but it won't be like theater seating or anything like that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. If there are any other, we'll go to item 24. I forgot we brought all 3 items up.
Yes, and so moving on to item 24, this will support a cafe and coffee shop in the Smithfield neighborhood in the amount of $49,000. And so, of course, as you know, we have the Choice Neighborhood Implementation Grant application in, and these are things that we want to further support in Smithfield to have more amenities for the neighborhood there. And so I do have the owner here to talk more about the cafe and coffee shop.
My name is Kariba Bush, and I'm here to represent, 1102. And as you guys know, the building had been sitting there about 20, 25 years, just empty. And so I decided to take the building and just totally gut it out. I just tore everything out, roof and everything. Just started with a complete shell, new plumbing, new HVAC, everything's just brand new. And right now we're just at the point where the facade needs a little more attention. So that's where we are with that.
Okay. Councilor Abbott, do you have any questions?
I like your optimism. It needs a little more help. No, I don't have any questions.
Okay, Madam President.
Yes, hi, how are you, Mr. Bush? Question, is this the old, it was a service station?
Yes, ma'am.
Before? You bring back memories. We used to go buy gas there when I was a little girl. So glad to see it being remain in the neighborhood. This is right across from Parker High School, correct?
That's correct.
And so what are you doing now, a cafe and coffee shop?
That's correct.
And so our goal is then the homes or the rebuilding that we're doing, this would keep this type of opportunity for residents in the neighborhood. I don't have to leave out. I can go and have me a cup of coffee and go there and talk and have things. Okay, thank you very much.
So what are you serving at the cafe? Is it like muffins and little sandwiches?
Yeah, little sandwiches, anything that doesn't require like grease trap, things of that nature. So pizza, little small stuff like that initially.
Well, thank you for taking something that some would consider ugly and make it beautiful. In Titusville, we have Modern Coffee House, and it really has transformed the area and kind of really give people a lot of hope for seeing more small Black-owned businesses in communities. So I'm excited about this. We'll have to make sure to get a cup of coffee.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm excited too.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Next item number 25. Yeah, 25.
Item 25, we are recommending to support 1520 Partners LLC, which is located in the Civil Rights District, right behind 16th Street Baptist Church, and it will serve as a dental wellness center as well as offices for Block Global. And so I do have Mr. Mike Carpenter here to provide an overview or answer any questions he may have.
Afternoon.
Good
Madam
afternoon.
Chair, councilors. We're quite excited about our project, and we appreciate your consideration. 1520 was a blighted building on 7th Avenue North, and we have completely gutted that building. I shared with staff, I don't know if they shared the photographs with you of our progress of that project, but currently we're waiting on our sign permit to be approved and our landscaping. But 1520 Partners is a partnership between myself and my business partner, Herschel Hamilton, and a young African-American dentist, Dr. Charlicia McLean. And so Dr. McLean, she is seeing patients now. She's the first floor tenant of the building. We'll be occupying the second floor. And we have invested over $1 million in this building. And this is the first investment in 7th Avenue North in probably 20 years. So we're quite excited about our building, our project, and we think it's going to bring some additional attention to 7th Avenue North for the benefit of the city.
Okay. Thank you. Madam President, do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions other than the doctor is already practicing in
Yes,
the
ma'am.
building?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so this would just help to complete the way that the building looks and that
Yes,
type
ma'am.
thing. All right, thank you.
Okay. Councilor Abbott?
I don't have any questions.
Okay. Well, thank you. There's been a motion and a second on items 23, 24, 25. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those items pass. Thank you, Mr. Corey.
Thank you.
Item number 26, a public purpose resolution authorizing the CETA Cup events to be held on April 21st, 2023 at the Birmingham Crossplex for the purpose of projecting a positive image and goodwill in the city, establishing a repertoire with the public and core constituents, gathering knowledge about community interests and issues, as well as showing appreciations to those participants who benefit from various projects and programs, and where city departments will engage in training and develop with both athletic and mental competitive activities, and recognizing that a healthy workforce lowers healthcare costs and promotes productivity.
Move the item.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Jill, for waiting.
Good afternoon.
Good
Good afternoon.
Chief Human Resource Officer. So, Councilor Abbott, I believe you were here. Back in 2019, we did seating games. In 2020, COVID was the winner. In 2021, COVID was the winner. In 2022, the World Games were the winner. So we are now ready to resume this activity, which was supposed to be an annual event where we get our non-emergency personnel together. We undertake numerous types of activities. Some of them are athletic type sports activities. Some of them are training and developments. We also hold a benefits cafe at the same time because open enrollment is right around the corner. And it just gives us the ability to appreciate our employees for the work that they've done over the last few years by giving them a day that is more on the fun side. And it helps build camaraderie as well as the morale of our employees.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Abbott, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I do. I thought that I knew what this was, and then I read this public establishing a rapport with the public and core constituents, and I thought maybe I don't know. So the public and core constituents are actually our employees. Is that right?
They are, but by building up teamwork and customer service, by doing and increasing the morale of your employees has a direct impact on how they perform their job and their duties. And if they work for a place that they enjoy to work, they are more likely to provide meaningful and excellent customer service as opposed to someone who doesn't want to be here, is here just to collect a paycheck, and may not be as friendly as they could be to our customers and our citizens.
Well, I attended, and I thought it was great. I mean, everybody was having a good time, and, we don't see ourselves having a good time all that often, so I thought it was wonderful. I just was curious about that wording, if we were going to be inviting other people to participate, but it's the employees,
yes,
the happy ones and the others, so maybe we can cheer up the ones that aren't happy.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Madam President.
You can throw me in the pool, and that's about it.
Well, first of all, where are they playing? What kind of games are we playing?
Well, there is a variety of both physical and mental activities. On the physical side, we have 3-on-3 basketball, volleyball, kickball, an obstacle course, tug of war. On the more intellectual side, we have a trivia bowl, name that tune, Family Feud, musical chairs, which could get kind of athletic, but City Council is welcome to participate. There's a volunteer sign-up that comes out, and if you want to participate in an activity, sign up, and then you will be assigned to one of the chief's teams. And or if you have enough employees, you can have your own team that competes. But we've combined departments under the 4 chiefs just because there's a really healthy competition that goes on between the chiefs, especially Chief Mitchell and Chief Sparks.
Wow.
Chief Mitchell has a football trophy from an event we did with the directors and deputies, and he shows it off all the time. So
I bet he does.
It did seem very competitive, but a lot of fun, so thank you. I was just teasing about the council piece, but we might want to be in that trivia part of it and name that tune. Thank you.
Oh, I think y'all do better and name that tune.
I don't know.
Or
I don't
maybe
know,
a
Councilor
dance
Abbott. Some of the
contest.
songs they play now, I don't know that we know the names of.
Thank
It would have to be generational.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, well, there's been a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 26 passes. Item number 29, old and new business. There's no old and new business. The next committee meeting will be on Monday, April 24th, 2023 at 3:30 p.m. Councilors, is there a motion to adjourn?
I move for adjournment.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.